Mae'n blesar gen i croesawu pobl o rhan o Gymru a rhai pobl o Iwerddon a ynysoedd yr Alban
the Scottish Islands and Kirsty from the Carnegie Foundation, which is also in Scotland, in Dunfermline. The 5 projects in Wales, very different projects, and that's why we're here today to hear a report on how things have gone and the conclusions perhaps from these projects.
We as Powys Association of Voluntary Organisations have been working with the Powys LSV, the Local Service Board, and we've been looking at the way that organisations collectively engage with their communities, and we've been trying to untangle some of the complexity that really holds people back from making real commitment towards engagement activity, and working systematically with our partners through some of those barriers, and trying to bring forward some best practice to give people faith that it works, that it's going to make a difference, and that actually together we can make an impact on our communities.
I think the message you need to give to Welsh Assembly is stop writing strategies that they don't then put into practice. That there are lots and lots of strategies which say all the things that the voluntary in the community sector would want to hear, but actually they then don't implement them. They sign a compact with WCVA or the WLGA, and that's it. End of story. They don't actually. I suppose I'd like to see a bit more policing on their part of what actually happens to their good intentions when it goes further down the line.
Clarity of purpose. I think that's been the main theme that's come through all our work. Understanding what impact their policies across the board have on the different frontline delivery mechanisms, and there has to be some joined up thinking throughout that, and that can only come from the top. That leadership needs to come from the top.
Working on the Building Inclusive for Community strand, and we've been looking at developing effective engagement for consultation with black and minority ethnic individuals in rural areas. The formula is very, very simple. It's about building trust, building relationships, going out there, meeting individual people and building capacity within the community so that you can get sustained dialogue and consultation engagement that goes beyond just one single strategy or one single project. And that's really what we want to emphasise. It's not about one ring-fenced item or event, but it's about the ongoing dialogue that's really important.
Difficulty, I suppose, with looking at skills, that there's so many skills frameworks out there and training programs and this, that and the other, and everybody's trying to do something a little different. So there's a lot of confusion for communities, too many layers, a bit like Joan was saying about the planning, too many layers, too many layers. But what's come to the surface, I suppose, is out of one project in particular. Well, it's not a project, it's out of one process in particular that has been a part of this RARP, and that is the way the community have organised themselves for their learning, and out of a community of roughly 5,000 population, they've had 3,000 people take part. I suppose some of the things that need to change for this sort of, and I wouldn't use the word replication, but for this sort of thing to grow elsewhere, is that funders or organisers or policy makers around skills and learning need to be far more flexible. There's a greater need to support the huge amount of voluntary effort that goes on here, in the sense of awarding people resources in return for that tremendous amount of voluntary work. So people can keep up this level of volunteerism for so long. They do need support. These projects and these processes are 25, 30-year long processes. Therefore short-term funding or short-term support isn't an option.
County Neighbours project was a coming together of groups in the Gaeltacht of Ireland and the Welsh-speaking areas of Wales and the Highlands and Islands of Scotland to see if there was common ground between the kind of cultural work they were doing in the native languages and whether it would be possible to strengthen the communities through collaboration. I think myself that what needs to change most is that the power brokers and strategic decision makers need to begin to learn to listen to communities, and in particular the native language communities, who they've tended to dismiss because they didn't understand them. Whereas languages are dying as quickly as species are dying. And every time a language dies, a way of seeing the world dies. So we have to fight like hell to keep our languages not only alive, but growing and gaining in confidence and gaining in ambition.